Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? What? We don't need another hurricane. We don't need a hurricane, but we could get a hurricane. We've got to watch this close, guys. I need a lot of prayer warriors out there. The next 7 days, something could develop. A storm is brewing, and it could end up becoming Hurricane Debby. Let me tell you all about it here in just a second. Guys, let me just say that right now. MyPillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. Just go to www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. There's some of the greatest deals ever. Mike Lindell over there at MyPillow has put together an incredible opportunity for all of the Paul Begley Prophecy viewers. You just simply go to www.mypillow.com/Paul and use the promo code Paul, and you will see the incredible deals available. Use that promo code Paul. Be sure you do it. And it's, as part of it is a blessing to the ministry. And we want to thank Mike for doing that to help spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. He's been persecuted enough for being a Christian. And we need to stick together as Christians. So it's a great chance to get a new pillow, blankets, throw pillows, towel sets, slippers, all kinds of incredible mattress toppers. All of it's there. Check it out at mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. All right, guys, we already know about the aliens, the alien invasion, the aliens deception, the alien infusion, the alien disclosure. Well, we're going to be talking about all of that in this incredible webinar that we have coming up on Friday. It starts at 6 p.m. Friday night, 6 o'clock Friday night Eastern. What? We're only, 6, 7, 48, 55 hours away. We're only 55 hours away. Are you serious, guys? It's going to be incredible. And you will be binge watching this one. Might as well get the popcorn ready, gather the family around the TV, click on it. There's nothing else on Netflix. There's nothing on Primetime Video, Amazon Prime. There's nothing else on. So be ready for this powerful webinar. As a matter of fact, if you want to get deeper into all of this, we're doing that special bundle, all 4 of these webinars on aliens, all of these 34 DVDs, some of the best information ever, collection. I'm going to ship the entire bundle to you for your love gift of $125 or more. If you just go to paulbegleyprophecy.com, 34 DVDs, the alien bundle from these 4 aliens, AI and the Antichrist, aliens above and below, aliens and fallen angels, and aliens, angels and demons. All 4 of these DVDs, these 4 webinars, I will ship them to you. Just go to paulbegleyprophecy.com. And if your love gift of $125 or more, I will send those to you. Don't even have to, or you can just go to paulbegleyprophecy.com and go to the store, go to the DVD section. You'll see it. Click out right on the bundle. I want the bundle, $125. These would normally cost you $250, but for this week only, just for this week only, till Sunday night at midnight, we're going to offer this special bundle. It is Alien Week. Now, but we've got a hurricane we got to deal with. What? Yes, get your tickets for this webinar. We've got a hurricane to deal with. And if you want to do any of these, I'm going to tell you right now, if there was ever time to pray for the storms that are out there, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on, because anytime I deal with storms, you have to wonder, what does it all mean? Hurricane Debby could be devastating, and nobody's talking about it, but I'm going to get out ahead of it early, because it could happen within the next 7 days. Or if we can pray hard enough and through the hand of God, maybe we can dissipate this thing. It could just become maybe just a tropical depression or something, some storm, some rain, some lightning, and it can blow away. Or let's just hope that there is. But we got to pray. We got to start praying right now because of this storm. Let me tell you about it and what its potential is. If you live in Florida, Floridians, listen up. Continue to keep an eye on this tropical wave that's moving across the Atlantic Ocean toward the United States. The system odds of strengthening into a tropical depression has increased. It could be a storm by the weekend, and it could remain the same. But right now, there's a 60% chance that this storm out there could organize and become a tropical storm or a hurricane. That named Debby, Debby, Debby. It would be the fourth named storm of 2024 in the Atlantic hurricane season. This tropical disturbance currently is near the Lesser Antilles, just north of the Caribbean Sea. It's producing a broad area of disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity. And while its development is currently slowed as it's moving through some very dry air caused by some dust from the Sahara Desert in Africa, has actually created dry air, keeping it from organizing. But that's about ready to pass. Its environmental conditions are forecasted to gradually become more conducive for the development while the system moves generally west-northwestward over the Great Antilles toward the Bahamas. And as it gets closer to the Bahamas, then things is going to organize. A tropical depression could form by this weekend while the system is near the Greater Antilles. And then it will head toward the Bahamas and or toward Florida, according to forecasters. There's still a number of questions about this storm, guys. That's why I'm asking you to start praying now. We don't need this thing. We just don't need it coming toward Florida. Matter of fact, we just don't. At this time, there remains, though, a great deal of uncertainty in the terms of the placement, the track, the eventual strength. Matter of fact, Tim Sedlock, who's a meteorologist with the National Weather Service, is saying that the models will continue to have a problem with this feature until a low actuality develops. Right now, it's too disorganized. And that dry air, that dust from the Sahara Desert in Africa is keeping this storm disorganized. Now, should the storm track north of the Big Island in the Northern Caribbean later this week, then it would more likely be a concern for the East Coast of the United States later on, according to meteorologists and climatologists. On the other hand, should the storm track just south of the Big Islands, it may be more of a concern for the U.S. Gulf Coast later on. That means it could actually get into the Gulf of Mexico. We don't expect that, but the highest current possibility is a potential center for a near or just east of Florida, according to Matt DeWitt, who is also a meteorologist. Now, the American model has been the outliner. If anything, it seems like the model is shifting a little east, closer to the European model, which is not perfect, but statistically, it sometimes is the most accurate. If the system does track east, Florida's west and Gulf Coast won't see more than our typical summer scattered storms that we get almost every day in Florida. But if the models shift west, our rain chances would increase with more minimal impact felt. It will likely get stronger and better organized as it moves away from the Florida on Sunday into Monday, as it moves over warm water with lower shear and better moisture levels. He said, I would not cancel any plans for the weekend. It's going to be fine. This weekend's going to be okay in Florida. I wouldn't especially worry about that. But what will this thing do? The east side, there might be some rain, maybe a little bit of gusty winds at times. The only area that really that people are concerned about more could be the Bahamas. And we're not going to say that's going to be terrible, but it could be some gusty winds and some rain. And the question is, will this storm organize and become a tropical storm? Debby. At that point, the state of Florida, the impact could be minimal. But According to reports, they are saying it likely be a tropical storm as it pulls up off the east coast of Florida and heads toward the Carolinas, and that's where it could be a problem. Still, we're not going to write anything off because this storm is not organized. Because it's not organized. As long as that Sahara Desert dust keeps that air dry above the storm, it will prevent the storm from organizing and becoming a tropical storm or even a full-blown hurricane. We just don't know. And so we're going to be watching. But I wanted to get out ahead of it, guys. I really did, because, you know, I keep an eye on things. Anytime I see a 60% chance of a tropical storm or hurricane, I'm going to keep my eyes open and watch it closely, because that's how people get caught off guard. Matter of fact, this last Hurricane Beryl, nobody was talking about it. Nobody except BP Earthwatch. He was the only guy that was actually talking about, be careful, something could organize, he said, down there in the Gulf of Mexico. And so this is, and there's BP just stepped in. The storm's picking up with a few storms wrapping around it. You're right, BP. That's why BP's watching it. That's why I'm watching it. It's because we don't trust them. Okay. And that, as long as that dry air, that dust from the Sahara Desert of Africa, as long as that dry air and dust stays above that area of the storm can't get enough moisture, can't pull enough power and energy together to create a tropical storm or hurricane. But the waters are very warm. And when you have warm water, guys, especially as warm as the water is this year, it has a lot of energy. It creates energy. And my concern is that the storm just kind of sets out there, and that dry Sahara dust and that dry air blows out, and all of a sudden you get that warm, moist air and the heat and the hot water already in the ocean, and all of a sudden those storms that are wrapping around, they start to organize. They start to get organized. And when that happens and you get to a tropical storm, Debby, then you don't know what you got. You may have a full-blown Category 2 hurricane headed toward the coast of Florida, you know, or maybe it shears off toward Jacksonville, or it kind of shears off toward Savannah, Georgia, or toward the Carolinas. But it's way too early to say. This thing could also sneak under, Jamaica and Cuba, and next thing you know, show up in the Gulf of Mexico, where that water is much warmer. And if it does that, and that by the time it got there, that dust and that dry air from the Sahara will have blown away. And look out, because then things could turn real nasty quick. I don't anticipate that. I don't know if BP does either. Matter of fact, I don't know. BP may have already done a video on this. I don't know if he has or not. If he did, I haven't seen it. I'll need to go check it out. But you might want to keep an eye on BP Earthwatch. Can I just take a look right now while I'm here talking? Give me a second. I just want to see if he has already covered this. And if he has, he'll be all over it. Give me 1 second here. One second. Give me a moment. He may not have done it yet, but I know he will. I know he watches. Yeah, he has. No, he hasn't. Wait. Let's see. That's Beryl. No, he hasn't yet. Don't look like he has yet. Okay. He is talking about some of the CMEs. He is talking about different Bitcoin. He's talking about world updates. He's talking about some other stuff. He hasn't got to the hurricane or the storm yet. He hasn't got to that yet, but he will. And when he does, he is very, very accurate. And so so you want to keep an eye on that. BP, I'm sure you're going to. It is the breaking update. Oh, okay. It is the breaking update. So it looks like he's going to be coming. The hurricane update is in the breaking update from yesterday. Okay, so it is in the breaking update video he did yesterday. So he's already ahead of me. He's always ahead of these. He's very good at keeping an eye on. That's why he's BP Earth Watch. What? And solar flares and earthquakes, hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones. But he likes to keep an eye on what goes on with the hurricane and the tropical storms, and keep an eye on what's going on, what might be coming to Florida or to the Carolinas, or maybe even into the Gulf of Mexico, and we know what can take place. But if you remember Hurricane Beryl, nobody really was paying attention to that storm, and it wasn't organized, but BP kept saying that if it got on the other side of the Yucatan, or if it got over in that lower area, something could develop. And then as soon as it did, it got across that Yucatan Peninsula. And when it did, it reorganized. And then it came up the Gulf. And instead of going to Mexico, this thing went straight for the Houston, Galveston area. And it just dumped a ton of water. And you guys know the rest of the story. Knocking out power to 2 million people. And it took days and days. This was a storm that nobody saw coming. And that's why we like to get out ahead of these and prepare people, just so it's in your mind. I don't like for people 48 hours before a storm hits, find out, whoa, we got a storm coming. It's too late to get the plywood. It's too late to get the preparation for the house. Too late to pack up. Too late to leave. I think it happens all the time. And so I like to tell people in advance, just like that. I like to tell people in advance what's coming. Speaking of, just got this new hat. I don't know, but it fits good. Thank you guys for sending that to me. Yeah. I'll be back, guys. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Know this, he's coming soon. The Lord is coming soon. We want to be ready, okay? We definitely want to be ready. Get your tickets for the webinar. What? Aliens. Friday night, 6 p.m. It's really, really good. I promise you, it's really, really, really good webinar. Aliens among us. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're living in the last days. Keeping behind you.